Now, you post a story on your Instagram page, or a reel, whatever it is, showing off your amazing personal training skills. And you check in a couple of hours later and you see that you've got someone who responded saying, hey, I'd love to get started with you. And you respond, of course you do, saying, yes, of course, I'd love to get started. Do you want to hop on a call? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Whatever it may be. And unfortunately, they never respond. Now, if you're a personal trainer, this almost certainly sounds familiar because it happens time and time and time again. And you're certainly not alone in this. But I want you to realize that they were serious. Most people are. You know, when you walk into a shoe shop, it's usually because you want a pair of shoes. It's not just so you can go ahead and look at them. Now, I'm not here to point fingers, but it is something which you're doing. It's probably not something which you are aware that you're doing. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Now, personal trainers, you've been told many, many times that sales, it's a numbers game. And that's only partly true because the number which people often talk about is volume. You've got to do more and more and more and more and more. But the number that you never get told about, which is the actual one which really counts, is time. Now, to put this simply, the longer it takes for someone to show interest into actually giving you their money, the less likely they are to give you their money. You can think about this in your own life. For example, booking an Uber. It takes 30 seconds. You open the app, you tap a button, and all of a sudden the car comes. Magic. But compare that to booking a reservation at a restaurant, and maybe they put you on hold. Now, from a customer's experience, it puts a bad taste in your mouth. It takes longer. You feel inclined to back off and maybe check out somewhere else. And so as you can see, the faster experience will always win. Now, I actually wanted to see how personal trainers are actually doing this. So I actually went undercover. And I messaged over 200 online personal trainers in DMs, on Instagram, and my findings were pretty extraordinary. So here's some real screenshots of the conversations over Instagram which I was having. Now, across the board, my time as prospect was never really respected. Trainers would take hours to respond. Some would ask me to fill out a form. Then they'd send me a PDF of all their packages and things like that. Then they'd ask me to message them back once that I decided. Then I'd try to get on a call with them. But every single one of these steps is a barrier. And every barrier is a moment where a client thinks, actually, never mind. And so that takes me to this marvelous little example that we have here. Now, this is your customer. This is your prospect. This is the person who's interested in working with you. And this is you. This is the money. That's what we're after, this one here. And this is a typical sales funnel during just the DM process with personal training. You've got the delayed message, you've got the PDFs, you've got the forms, you've got the, what's your pricing? Clients having to ask about the pricing is not acceptable. I'll come to that later. This is just a disaster, and every single one of these steps gets in the way. Every single one of these steps is an excuse for the person to back off and to not follow through. You have to strike whilst the iron is hot. That is the number one rule in sales. Personal training, sales is a numbers game. But it's not volume, it's time. And time is represented by these blocks. Right, should we do a bit of maths, or math, depending on which side of the pond you're on. And let me move these obstacles out of the way, and we can get started. Now, I'll show you my workings. Now, let's say you charge, I'll do it in dollars, let's say you charge $200 for 1 month's coaching, online coaching. That's a fairly typical number. Now let's say you have 10 DMs per month. And these are people who are genuinely interested, not just, they're going to send you an inappropriate picture. They're actually interested in working with you. Now, with this many barriers, let's just put the barriers back up, getting in the way. The chances of them converting is low. So let's say about a 20% rate, which would leave you with 2 new clients per month. There you are. See, I can read and write. So that's $400 a month, which equals $4,800 per year. And that's money in your bank. Congratulations, sir or madam. You are the proud owner of $400 new per month, or $4,800 per year. But here's the thing. Those 8 other people, they didn't just say no, they just lost interest. They just got bored along the way. So maybe they filled out half of your form, or they looked at the PDF, whatever it was, but they got bored, they got distracted, they have a life. They meant to reply, but just didn't, they forgot. It happens. And now that's not rejection, it's friction. It's the number of steps, it's the time taken. And that friction, it just costs you $19,200 a year from people who were genuinely interested, but just got bored. So I'll put it to you, what if the whole process looked like this instead? Wouldn't that be a marvelous thing? Now, this is how every great business in the world thinks about sales. As fewer steps as possible between showing interest into giving you their money. Amazon got it down to 1 click and became the biggest e-commerce business globally. Uber got it down to 1 tap and killed the taxi business. And the principle is always the same. And that's a beautiful thing, because when it's always the same, it's easy. And the principle is faster always wins. Only have the essential steps within the process, nothing else. If it's not a definite yes, then it's a definite no. Now, for personal trainers, when someone lands on your page, they should see these 5 things immediately. Firstly, a strong headshot with good lighting so that they know you're a real professional, not some awkward photo taken in your mum's bathroom mirror. Secondly, a specific tagline so they understand exactly who you help and that they know you're for them. All the best taglines make you known for something specific, and being known for something specific is the winning formula. Thirdly, your experience and your qualifications, so they know you're not just good at taking photos and writing taglines, but you also have some depth to you as well. Fourthly, get your social proof, your testimonials, your reviews. Have them at front and center so other people do the convincing for you. And number 5, your offer with your pricing clearly shown. Now, you really must stop trying to hide your prices. Stop making people DM you just to find out what you charge. You're not being mysterious, you're being an obstacle. And every time someone has to ask you a question that could have been answered up front, that's a barrier. And that's it. No forms, no PDFs, none of this, I'll get back to you later. 1 button to book an intro call. And now on that intro call, you don't have to spend your time convincing them. Please, please, please work with me. I can help you. No, you've already done that. You've already done the hard work. With your photo, your tagline, your testimonials, everything up front, the pricing, the offer, done. You can now build rapport. Now, that's what an intro call should be. It should not be selling. You've already done the selling. This is now rapport building. And this isn't some hack or trick. This is just human psychology. People make decisions when the path is clear and the next step is very obvious. Behavioral economics has known this for years, and all the best businesses are built on exactly this formula. Personal training just hasn't caught up yet. And now we can see what happens to that maths again. So we take those same 10 people and that same 200 buckaroos, 10, I can't believe I just said buckaroos. But now instead of converting just those 2, maybe you've gone up to 5 or 6 per month. Let's go with 6. 6 is a nice number. Now, if my math serves me correctly, that's an extra $1,200 per month and an extra $14,400 per year. Wow, that's pretty fantastic. And that's the same number of inquiries. You've not done anything magic there. You've not suddenly started becoming some content posting machine. Same number of inquiries. All you did is remove this number of steps. You just stopped making it so hard for people to give you their money. And this is precisely what I'm building. It's not a course or a program, it's a tool. And it does all this for you. It sets up your profile, your tagline, your offer, your testimonials, all in one place, and with that magic 1 button. And it's what all the best personal trainers in the world will soon be using. And when it launches, the gap between trainers using our product and those who are not is going to be enormous. However, you don't have to wait for that. Why don't you head off to your DMs now and count how many steps it takes for a customer or client to go from showing interest into booking you. Then very simply, start removing those steps. Thank you very much. My name is George Molyneux, and you'll be seeing more of me in the future. Goodbye.